Third mould is this. It's a glass tea light holder, a very cheap item bought locally for about £1.
Hiya, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts and I hope you're doing okay. Today I'm trying out Let's Resin silicone rubber. Now I do like making moulds. I haven't done any for a long time because I haven't had any silicone. But thankfully Let's Resin have sent me some to try. And I will be trying this and seeing how I get on with it. And I really want to make a crystal mould. What do you reckon my chances? Let's have a look.
Well, this was my first mistake. I decided in my wisdom to use plasticine, and I'm using a piece of pipe, plastic pipe, to roll it out because I couldn't find my rolling pin. Since found it, but you know what it's like. So my idea was that I needed something for the crystals to sit into so that it would hold them up into a shape. But being the impulsive person that I am, I didn't read the instructions until I was halfway through making this. By the time I was halfway through, it had taken me such a long time to get there that I thought, you know what, I'm just going to carry on. Silicone rubber does not like plasticine. There are other substances as well that it doesn't like curing next to, but plasticine is up there. And I didn't realise that because I hadn't read the instructions. You could say, oh, serves you right, Wendy. Yeah, you're right, it does. But by the time I got halfway through this, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to try and not let too much silicone touch the plasticine. I'm going to fill up as many holes as I can with the crystals and with mirrored glass chips. I'll link everything in the description box below. And I'm going to go for it. I didn't have any air dry clay, I now do, and I definitely will be using that again in the future and not plasticine. But time is very precious and I wanted to get this done. So I went with the plasticine. Now I'm arranging these crystals in a fashion. I wanted the big ones in the centre pointing upwards and the smaller ones on the outside pointing outwards. I do like the way it came out. In hindsight, I think I could have arranged them a little better, but I haven't made a mould in a long time and I'm certainly not a mould maker. So here I've got the mirrored glass pieces. Again, I will link all this in the description box below. I'm using it because it's glass, not because I want the mirror in there. This is just a mould, remember, so all I wanted was a crystal type base. So I'm using these glass pieces to fill in any gaps so the smallest amount of plasticine will touch the silicone. And that did take me quite a while. So here is the finished piece ready for its sleeve, and I'm going to use a cut down plastic bottle to go over the top, and I'm going to push it into the plasticine to create a seal. Now this is a crystal piece that I bought many years ago. I've had it, it must have been about 20 years. I think I bought it at the seaside one year. But I do think it will make quite a nice mould. So I'm hot gluing it to a tile. I'm going to go around the bottom outside edge as well to stop any silicone from jumping underneath. And I'm going to use a cookie cutter for the mould of this one, just securing it in place with a hot glue gun before I do actually go right the way around it and completely hot glue it to the tile. Third mould is this. It's a glass tea light holder, a very cheap item bought locally for about £1. Now I have my 3 moulds. It's time to mix my silicone. This is a mix by weight 1:1 ratio. It's very straightforward, very simple, and it does say in the instructions you can add colour. So I thought I'm going to have to try that as well. So I'm just showing you here that I'm weighing out 110 grams of part A and 110 grams of part B. And I mix them with a plastic spatula. And I do mix it quite slowly for about 3 or 4 minutes. Once it's mixed, it's time to pour it into the moulds. Now it's best apparently to pour it from a height to reduce any bubbles that may still be in it, and it needs to completely cover the item that you're moulding with a bit more on top. With the rock, I just about had enough room to cover it and have a little bit on top, just about. And with the last one, I decided to add some mica powder to give it a bit of colour. And yes, I chose green. Why? Because I need to use green more in my life. It did actually turn out quite a nice colour, got to be honest. So yeah, mica powder works well with this silicone. I gave it a good stir. And as always, I've sped up most of this video for you for your ease of viewing. Pour it directly into the centre of the tea light holder, and I have a little bit of silicone left. So I decided to pour it into the centre of this rock crystal, just to see what we can get out of that one. Be like a little druzy, I thought. The following day, it's time to unmask these little moulds. Taking out the crystal one first, and I'm really surprised in how much detail it's picked up. It's really quite shimmery and shiny too. I expect you're wondering why I've done this one. Well, you'll find out later. But it's come out so smooth, so shiny, no bubbles, beautiful colour, even though I don't like green. On to the rock one. Again, absolutely stunning. It's picked up every detail. No stickiness, no fuss. Come out of the cookie cutter really well. Beautiful mould. The last one, there was a little bit of an issue with this because of the plasticine. It had left a tacky surface. Now, as it was just an old plastic bottle, I could cut it off to get it out. And this was the hard part, getting all the little bits of glass out of the silicone. It did take quite a while, but don't worry, you don't have to sit through all that. Once all the crystals were out, I was quite pleased with how it looked. However, it wasn't going to be any good for a resin mould. One, it's sticky, and two, the resin would come out in pieces. Every crystal would be separate. So I was going to have to trim out the middle so that the resin could pick up the crystals and still be in one piece. So I went round with scissors, I got rid of all the bits that were overhanging each other, and I trimmed out the middle of the mould. So now you can see the inside of the mould is lower than the outside, so the crystals will join together at the base with the resin, and you can pull it all out in one lump. Now, with any mould that you make yourself, the silicone will create a lip around the top and the bottom, and to get rid of this I used a cuticle remover. It seems quite a popular method to do this, and I will put the link in the description below. For those of you wondering why I made a mould of a tea light holder, this is why. I want to put tea light holders into things, and this 3D skull mould is perfect. To try out my little Druzy mould, I'm just putting it into a block. I'm going to be using JDICTION resin for this. As I'm doing quite a large pour with the skull, I might as well use it for the rest as well. I do have a 10% off code for JDICTION, and I will put it on the screen and it will be in the description box below, together with a link to their website. And to colour these pieces, I will be using Let's Resin Interference mica powders for these, in the colours pink, blue and green. Could have put more colours in, but I was happy with 3. Yeah, the green's never even been opened. Now, I got this technique from Hugh, wouldn't it be nice? I got it from Zach Higgins, I believe. And if you pour several different colours of interference mica powders together, it mixes together and forms a colour that resembles mother of pearl. So yeah, thank you Hugh, thank you Zach Higgins, and I will link both of their channels down below. I am hoping that the insert for the tea light isn't going to float. It's quite heavy as it's a solid piece, but I am hoping that it stays at the bottom of this skull, or I'll lose it forever. The rock, I'm just going to pour the 3 different interference powders in together, and that's it, simple as. The same with the little Druzy piece, however I did have issues with this because it floated and I ended up turning it upside down before it went into the pressure pot, so it was floating on top. With the last one I'm using exactly the same colours, but I'm dribbling the resin in because it's such a small amount in here. You really don't need a lot of resin at all. And I decided to spruce this one up a little bit by adding some coloured stones and some shell fragments. Now I've got this little pack of shell fragments, I think it was from Wish a long time ago. And I don't use them much, well I haven't used this one at all I don't think. But I decided to put the little blue shell pieces in there just to bring out some colour in some of the points with the stones. If you have any questions about this video, use the section below and I'll get back to you, and if I can, I'll answer them. A thumbs up is also really appreciated. So I finished putting the pieces in. I tried to get as many bubbles out as I could. I filled it up with resin and I put all the pieces in the pressure pot overnight. So how did the Let's Resin silicone get on? Well, the smaller pieces will float if they've got lots of air pockets in, like this little Druzy. Wow, look at all that crystal in there. I am going to love using that. The crystal rock is absolutely stunning. It is so shiny, it's beautiful. The one that was a pain, it's my own fault. The plasticine should not have been there. And it came out absolutely beautiful. Even the glass shards at the bottom you can see. But I think that's lovely. And the last one is, did this silicone stay where it was, or have I lost it forever? It's there. It's still in the same place. A little bit of resin comes off the top. A bit of alcohol to help it loosen from the resin. And after a little help with the back end of the paintbrush, it pops out. And I have a tea light holder in the top of the skull mould where there wasn't one before. It's nicely smooth around the edge, and the colour of this resin is gorgeous. I couldn't find any of my little battery operated tea lights, so I used this, just for demonstration purposes. It is not recommended to put open flames in any resin piece.
Well, it has been a long time since I've made any silicone moulds. And yes, it was so much fun. Now, my error was the plasticine, but I did buy some air dry clay, and the next one I make, I will be using it with the air dry clay because it was my fault it was sticky. But that's user error. And it worked anyway. It still made a mould. So even though I messed it up, I still got a mould out of it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Come back and see me next week because you never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week, happy crafting, and bye for now.